to get on here and just talk about what I'm offering, my upcoming event called Time to Fly, what it is, where it comes from, why it might be helpful for you, and whatever comes out. First, I would like us to take maybe 3 breaths so that I can get centered in my heart and that you can listen to me from yours. So if you're open to it, just close your eyes for a moment. Take a deep breath, feel your belly and chest expand as your spine lengthens. Take a full breath out and imagine some of the energy of your mind, your nervous system, and your worries dissipating into the earth below. Inhale, feel your chest expand as you arrive in this moment. Exhale, relaxing into the support of the earth below your body. Inhale, lengthening up towards the infinite guidance of the universe. And exhale, relaxing into this moment. Inhale, feel your chest expand as if you could gather all the scattered pieces of you. And exhale, bringing them home. Take one more breath here. Inhale fully. Exhale, let it out. And then we'll open our eyes. Hi again, I'm Angie. This is Ollie, most importantly. And I have an upcoming event. This will be the 4th time that I've led this event. It's called Time to Fly. And I'm getting really excited and inspired about it. It's been quite the journey from the first time I offered it 4 or 5 years ago. And I wasn't clear at that time exactly what it was I was offering, but I knew I needed to show up in present time and just share what I've learned through my life experiences, and it was a really beautiful event. I've since gone on to lead it 2 more times, and I've learned vastly from those experiences, as well as the last 2 years of life where I really went deep inside myself and deeply connected to the universe and decided if the world was going to be all cuckoo and crazy, that I might as well see if I can play with and discover more about the laws of the universe and how to co-create so that we can create a life that we want more than a life of survival or getting by or trying to not have the things that we don't want. So I'll just zoom out a little bit and give an overview of the intent of what I share in the weekend. And it's basically a container for us to learn how to move beyond the cage of our minds, beyond the conditioning of our culture, our thoughts, our beliefs, our upbringing, and really discover what our own inner guidance system, what our own heart wants out of life, and then not how to fix ourselves or go attain that, but how to get out of the way so that we can align ourselves to receive it. And really it's about going from this notion that we have to work harder, we have to figure out, we have to fix, we have to become worthy of in order to have these things that we want, which actually doesn't work. I've discovered trying harder actually gets in the way of things. I know this is very counter to productivity. However, it's way more peaceful, ease, and fun to learn to flow downstream where things are not effortful, where if we take action, it comes from an inspired place and it doesn't even really feel like work, rather than forcing ourselves to do all these things and fit into these molds so that we can be successful, loved, safe, whatever it is that we want to feel. So a little bit about my background. I, growing up, never really felt very worthy. I don't need to go into the details about that. I was loved deeply. It's just I had experiences of trauma and abuse, and I recreated them throughout my life thinking that, you know, this is what I was worth, right? This is what, I didn't understand the law of attraction. I didn't understand how I was perpetuating these cycles. But I did become very curious and very desirous of wanting to heal. So even in my late teens, I started therapy. I started the search and And then it just continued throughout my life. I just did not live a very traditional, in the right order, in the box kind of life. I really wanted to understand the meaning of all of this, and I wanted to heal, and I wanted to find my own joy, and I wanted to help other people feel okay and at peace. So many, many things. I moved to different countries by myself. I went and studied with shamans for many, many years. I went and saw healers and studied yoga and meditation and all sorts of things. And I learned a lot. And really what I learned is how to help other people feel at peace and okay with themselves. And I became very natural and probably adept, gifted at helping other people feel okay in the moment, which is kind of what my yoga classes are intended for. And still, right, I really didn't, on a consistent basis, drink from the well of the love and the joy that I taught, or that I helped other people to find. And I got a tremendous amount of fulfillment in serving other people and supporting them and mentoring them. And yet there was still this kind of emptiness of like, well, but I want to experience that. Why do I still sometimes have these cycles that sabotage my joy or that attract things that I don't want? And so I started playing. I started doing experiments with my life. And I do not teach or offer anything that I haven't experimented with and experienced personally in my own life and in myself. So for whatever reason, I just have done experiments in life, whether it be, okay, this year I'm going to test out my mind versus my inner guidance system. And I know that my inner guidance system is the way that I feel. So if something or someone or a conversation expands or relaxes me, that's my inner guidance saying yes. And if something contracts or drains me, that's my inner guidance saying no. But my mind and the shoulds usually override that, right? Our culture, our conditioning, our beliefs. And so I decided one year, you know what the heck? I am going to base all my decisions off the way it feels in my body. And I'm not going to listen to this. And that was a very interesting year. And I actually thought like a third of the way through it that I wasn't going to have anybody in my life. Because I realized a lot of the things I had in my life weren't actually reciprocating energetically or giving me life. So experiments like that, where I can offer, hey, this is your inner guidance system. I've gone through this experience over years, and this is generally what happens, right? Things change, things fall away, but then your perception of yourself shifts, your beliefs of yourself shift, and then the outer world shifts to match that. And you start to attract different people or different aspects of those same people. And not 100% of the time, right? We're never going to get there and be like, okay, this is it. I've achieved all these things that I wanted, and now I'm done. Life is continuously causing us to want more or to not want something, right? And still, I will attract old patterns into my life. I just have a different viewpoint of it once I get through the initial disappointment, and that is, oh, here's something else to play with. Right? And so I have developed some very practical, simple daily tools or things that you can play around with in your life to move from swimming upstream, trying to make things happen, and shift it to where it feels more like the universe has your back. That you don't have to know what's downstream, you can just feel what's right now in this moment and relax into it. And it started really simply. When my kids were little, we played this game about the parking gods, and we would get in this state where we would get into a parking lot and we'd be like, all right guys, we need a front row spot, and we'd all do this thing where we playfully called on the parking gods, and it just started happening that 99.something% of the time, not only would a front row one open up, but then like a shaded one, or like just options, right? And we just got so confident about it that we became masters. So if you want a parking spot, you should come with me. But I was like, why doesn't that work out in other areas of my life that are more challenging for me? And I've sort of figured that out. It's because I don't have a bunch of beliefs that I can't find a parking spot. I don't have resistance over this playful game. I was playing, right? I wasn't trying. And so it's easier to start with the easy things, the parking spaces and other playful things, and build up your confidence in the universe, in yourself, in your own inner guidance system, in letting go, and that life can be downstream more than effort, and then you can just expect to receive. And then how to work your way up, to work with different areas of your life that perhaps has some momentum about things that you don't want behind it. So it will be a weekend of learning to come into present time and learning to know ourselves on multiple levels and to love ourselves in all ways, ongoing, right, journey. To really learn to trust this inner guidance system and how to build up that trust through certain practices and exercises and insights and stories that I'll share with you. And then how to move beyond the cage of living in whatever limitations or shoulds that we find ourselves, or patterns that don't bring us joy, and really learn how to fly into the most truest, joyous, expanded, freest version of ourselves, and how to unapologetically and playfully be yourself. And aside from, each individual, I feel that we're in a shift right now, not to be too woo-woo, but a shift of consciousness. Like, we're going from this we need to try harder, we need to effort, we need to make things happen energy, which sometimes works out, but it has a cost, and it's at the cost of our own energetic life, and it usually requires some sort of external manipulation of things and people. So I feel like we're shifting from that to an opportunity to learn about surrender, to learn about going downstream, which isn't giving up, which isn't not wanting things to happen. It's really about learning to let the universe work with us, how to tap into our own inner guidance, but also universal guidance and intelligence, and to receive thoughts, impulses, inspirations, manifestations, things, people, whatever it is that you want. But how to get yourself ready for that, how to know that you're worthy of that, how to get excited and expect it, and then wait for the magic to unfold. So Einstein said you can't solve a problem at the same level of consciousness that created it. And yet, right? And yet we spend so much time in our crazy brains trying to figure out the solution to our problems that were created from our crazy brains. It doesn't work. It just doesn't work. And that's why Einstein said, I figured out these equations while staring at the sky. He got in the receptive mode, right? He studied all these things, but then the answers came to him when he was not trying to figure it out. So this is what I've played with, like how to get into solution consciousness, how to get into this receptive state so that we can align and receive what it is that we want. And I feel like maybe most of my life and my experiences and my hardships and my blessings and my joys have led me to this point of being able to offer what I've learned to anyone that wants to feel like they want to go from a state of stress or anxiety or worry to ease and relief and joy, if that seems possible. I've mentored people for over a decade, and I really feel ready to offer it out. So this November 5th and 6th in South Boston. Time to Fly will be a weekend transformational event for men and women who want to experience this. And you don't have to have any yoga experience. I've been a yoga teacher for 15 years, and so I like to guide people through their bodies to help them get out of their heads and into their heart and to feel a sense of connection and groundedness. So we will have some movement in our bodies for that, but you don't have to have any yoga experience to participate fully. So if you're interested or if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, and I would love to see you there.